He lights up every room, makes everyone feel seen, alive, important. He talks about possibilities with stars in his eyes, ideas that sparkle so bright, you don't even notice he's already moved on to the next. But if you ask him to stay, to slow down, to choose, he hesitates, smiles, and says something clever. Because deep down, commitment isn't comfort, it's confinement. And it's not just him. There's her too. Different face, same fire, same need to run when things get too real. She says, "It's not that I don't care. I care too much. That's the problem." But what she doesn't say is this: if I choose this, what happens to everything else I'll never get to be? So she pulls away, gently, beautifully, like a sunset that promises to return, but doesn't. And you're left wondering whether she ever really meant to stay, or if she only wanted the version of you that existed in her imagination. This is the dark mirror of the ENFP, the inspirer, the free spirit, the enthusiast. But in shadow, they don't inspire, they escape. The ENFP leads with extroverted intuition, NE. NE is open, expansive, restless. It sees 10 possibilities in every moment, and then 10 more. It seeks novelty like oxygen. Supporting NE is introverted feeling, FI. FI asks, "What matters to me? What feels true to me?" It's individual, internal, sacred. This pairing makes the ENFP magnetic, an idealist with endless vision, and a heart that wants everything. Authentic. But that's exactly what makes the fall so much harder. When the ENFP enters the NEFI loop, something begins to unravel. They chase idea after idea, each one more thrilling than the last, but none of them take root. They feel deeply, dream vividly, but they don't act. Or if they do, they leave before anything can fully form. Because staying means confronting limitation, and limitation means sacrifice. And sacrifice feels like death to the part of them that believes there's always something more out there, somewhere better, someone more aligned. So they bounce from projects, from people, from themselves. But the worst part isn't what they leave behind. It's what they carry with them. The silent fear that if they slow down, if they actually commit, they'll be exposed for not having it all figured out, for not being as fearless as they pretend to be. Because deep underneath that fire is a quiet terror. What if I choose the wrong life? And instead of choosing, they run. This fear comes from a rejection of their inferior function, introverted sensing, SI. SI represents stability, continuity, the weight of the past and the responsibility of the present. But for the ENFP, SI feels like a trap, like a small room with locked windows. So they keep moving, never realizing that in avoiding the cage, they've built one inside themselves. Because the need to stay free eventually becomes a compulsion. And that compulsion, it's the real prison. So how does the ENFP break the cycle? Not by rejecting their fire, but by learning how to carry it without burning everything down. By letting SI speak, not as a rule book, but as a grounding force. And by integrating TE, their tertiary function, they begin to act with structure, to choose a path and walk it, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. The dream doesn't die when they commit, it takes shape. And sometimes, that's when the real magic begins. Have you ever run from something that mattered just because it felt too real, too final? Have you ever called it freedom when it was really just fear? Let me know in the comments. Where have you seen this pattern? In yourself or someone who disappears the moment things get close? And don't miss the next episode of Dark Mirror, where we meet a type that stays silent, unnoticed, invisible, until one day they quietly break. Can you guess who it is? Thanks for watching. See you on the next episode.